And welcome back to episode 30 of the WPD podcast. Obviously, it's been a while, but there's been many things going on and many exciting things going on. Obviously, back with the trio and back with Kelly. Obviously, the last couple episodes, Kelly was a little bit away with the fairies. You were probably working, weren't you, Kel? From something
Yeah, I
like that.
think that was it.
Yeah, something like that. And obviously, you
Mm.
had
That
your
thing that
birthday.
gets in the way.
Well, I think you just started your new job, so it was a bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of which, I get to send a very exciting email tomorrow,
This is very exciting, isn't it?
resigning from the NHS and the ambulance service
Oh, right. I bet that's the best feeling in the world.
after in September it will be 19 years.
Yeah, that is
No,
mad.
yeah, 19 years.
I bet that's like a massive weight
Same
lift
as
off
me.
your shoulders.
Thank you for
Yeah,
your service.
Thank you. I'll start clapping at 5 o'clock on Thursdays.
it was 8 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Thursdays.
Because it was
Yeah,
just in time for the end of our shift, Mana, wasn't it?
yeah,
By the
yeah.
time you'd finished your shift and got home and just walked through the door, settled down, that's when they'd start banging their saucepans.
And saucepans.
Saucepans, sorry, I am Welsh. It
It
is
would
a
always be.
saucepan in Welsh, a saucepan bach.
I have no idea. It would always be like at about 10 past 8, my mum would send me a video of her hanging out the window filming people clapping in the street.
Great, thanks.
And then I remember we were driving through a little village in Dorset, and it was when I was on the specialist unit that dealt with like obscure incidents, the hazardous area response team. So we're in convoy, there's three vehicles, two VW camper van type things, like transporters, not camper vans, and then like a bigger HGV type thing because it had a little buggy in the back. And we're driving through this village. They're all out at about 10 past 8, quarter past 8, having clapped, having a good old natter. And they just watched us drive past, blue lights on. None of the fuckers clapped. Like, you're not actually out here for us, are you? You're out here for an excuse to have a natter.
Yeah, legit. Fucking so backwards. Clap
Yeah,
from inside,
whatever.
you bastards.
Yeah.
Oh
So
dear, but I bet that's yeah, the best feeling in the world, right?
I will be assessing people for disability allowance, what's now called personal independent payment.
Mm.
And after the first 6, 7 weeks training, I'm working 3 days a week.
Mate, best feeling in the world, isn't it? I can imagine it's just like just going from such a hectic job that's shifts and obviously not mixture of nights and everything, and then obviously going to a job that, yes, it's obviously got, every job has a demand, but it's nice to go to 3 days where you can obviously now focus on your bodybuilding, because obviously everything that's happened this year, which we'll go into in a minute, but now you can actually spend time on yourself instead of constantly having the stress and the issue of work and stuff like lying on your shoulders.
And
It's not just
sleep
that, it's like
routine.
I
Yeah.
joked with various people over the years about, more so since turning pro, about if I didn't have to do shift work, I'd be dangerous. And
Yeah,
this preps just proved it. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I mean, I was probably the most stressed I've ever been in my life during this prep,
Mm.
but I didn't have to manage that around a rotating shift pattern and
Yeah.
doing night shifts and trying to fit in training after 5 hours sleep before going back in for another
Mm.
night shift,
Yeah.
and like being able to, get my steps in, get my cardio in without this 12-hour block eating away my
Yeah.
day. Because it's
Yeah.
And your
like,
life.
yeah, sanity. It
Mm.
was, previous preps, I'd be up at 4 a.m. to get cardio done before going in
Yeah.
to do a 7-hour shift,
Mm.
and
Mm.
then trying to fit in a session after a 12-hour shift to then get into bed early enough to get up at 4 a.m. the next day to do my cardio again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's just crazy that how like changing or having a different environment to your prep makes such a difference. Because even you said that to me, Roy, when we started being mates, like whenever that was, months and months ago, and you said, I know that if I didn't have shift patterns and a job like I do, I could be dangerous. And like you said, it's literally just been shown in these past obviously shows that you've done that you are in fact very, very relevant in the industry now.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
weird.
mad, isn't it? So do you wanna
Yes,
just go
tell us what's
into
happened. Tell us what's happened.
Did a thing,
the
did two
thing?
things, and it was
Yeah.
like,
Start
Start
from
with
the
the
very
first one.
beginning.
Start with the first
Yeah.
show.
so the first show was Toronto, um, and like Dan started saying, when was it? About maybe a month out. He sort of said something about, do you know what? I think you could be a contender to win the show. And I'm just like, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to know. Don't want to hear it. So we like started sort of talking top five type thing. And obviously went to Toronto, trained Pure Muscle and Fitness, which if you ever have the opportunity to go, it's fucking insane.
Mm.
Um,
Just like me and Leets were literally saying the other day, like if we ever just go to Canada for a holiday, that's one place I want to go is Pure Muscle and Fitness because it just
yeah,
looks insane. Like obviously you said the other day, Ro, about some of the influencers there on some days and shit, but I can imagine when it's like the environment of bodybuilding, it's like a cracking environment.
my claim to fame is being in the background of one of Justin Shire's training
I
videos
thought you were
Fuck
going to
for
yeah.
say
HD
Foo ads.
Muscle.
And I saw you in the background of that Foo ads one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I can spot you walk a mile away. I was like, there she
Stomp,
is.
stomp, stomp, stomp. Yeah. I just need to stop stomping on stage, walking with purpose. Yeah. So yeah, we trained up Pure Muscle and Fitness quite a bit. It was Friday, I think, though it was a bit of a struggle because Collie was training there. I can't pronounce her first name. I know it looks like Alicia, but when they called her out at registration and said Alicia, she corrected them. So apologies, but I'm not entirely sure how to say your name. But the chick that won, sorry,
Is she Canadian?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
she was in there on Friday doing a photo shoot, and it was just like, oh my god, they're blatantly with WPD. Oh my god, this is like just wigging me out, just totally wigging me out.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, I was so anxious beforehand, not about the show, but like my work related anxiety was kicking off.
Yeah.
Worse at Spain actually, but yeah, it was kicking off. So there were points where I was like, I'm just going to do Toronto. I'm not going to do another show, just one and done kind of thing. We had registration on the Friday, town on the Saturday, had to get up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, because I think I messaged you and
Was
you were up and
really
you were and you were going for makeup and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and you were like, yeah, it's like I think I messaged you and you said, oh, it was like it must have been like 3 or 4 o'clock, and I was like, fuck,
yeah.
how long is it taking for makeup? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was makeup was at 4 a.m. because we were on straight after bodybuilding, so the show started at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just, I mean, the organization of it was like it was like being in Switzerland. It was like bang, 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 bang. Everything was when it was meant to happen, it happened.
Yeah. I think
But yeah,
obviously, like I said to you on FaceTime the other day, like I've never been to a European show, but obviously, and I've only done one American show, but I'm sure the American and sort of Canadian shows are just run like that and run really well because like at Reno, they were like, know exactly where you were, at what time, when you need to, and it was just like fucking so smooth.
yeah, and they
However,
had
can
like,
we talk about the price of the tickets to watch it online?
Oh, mate, it was like $80, wasn't it?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, we
poor
just lived
Dan,
life through Brittany.
poor
Yeah, we
Dan,
lived
he
our
had to
life through
buy,
Brittany. Thanks, Britt.
yeah. So they did a two bro, so it was separate tickets for
Yeah.
pre-judging and finals, and
Mm.
then Dan had to buy a coach's pass to get backstage.
How much was that, Ro?
I don't know.
I mean, when I wanted
Looking
Leeks
at
to
him,
come
he's on his
backstage,
phone.
she had to get like an NPC membership, which was like 100 and something. Then a coach's pass, which was like 100 and something. So we ended up spending over 300 quid just for her to be backstage. It's mad.
Mad.
It was pricey, and then
Yeah.
like Brit had to pay extra for. She bought a ticket for pre-judging,
Yeah.
but didn't realize that it didn't get her into finals. So she then had to buy another ticket for finals as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it was quite pricey, and like the makeup and the tan was quite expensive. Like
Yeah.
I think I didn't realize when I booked it that I'd only paid 50%, and that was something like 170 quid and I do my own hair. So
Oh,
book an extra layer of tan. But yeah, it was. I
how many
even
layers of tan did you have, Ro, in the end?
for Toronto I had 3.
Yeah.
For Spain I had 2.
Yeah,
And I
because like who was doing the tanning for Toronto? Was it, do you remember?
it wasn't Pro Tan. I think it was Liquid Sunrays.
Okay,
But
because
the tan was really nice.
I always last time I saw you, you're really brown. So even if you
Yeah, I thought that.
3 layers,
Yeah.
that's like proper. That's because I had 3 layers at Reno and I'm literally like a ghost.
Yeah. Um
But your tan looked lush on what we could see from the streams. It looked really nice.
yeah, it was really nice for Toronto.
Yeah.
It was, what was it, Top Tan
Oh, okay.
for Spain.
Oh, I've never heard.
And I don't know, the difference with Spain was with Toronto they tanned you the day before. Spain it was the morning. So after prejudging, where it was so hot, I looked like I'd had it on for about 2 weeks, and where onto your joints it goes all patchy. It was
Yeah.
like
Like
that.
tiger
So
bread.
yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, utterly. So I did get another coat, which to be fair to them, they didn't then charge for another coat pre-finals.
Mm.
They did do that, but yeah, it was where was something else I was going to say about that. It's gone about the tan.
Makeup.
Yeah, makeup with Toronto was fantastic.
Spain?
Spain, they cancelled the makeup. The makeup artist cancelled on the
This is such
Thursday.
a fucking shit show.
And yeah, it was whoever they got in to do the makeup. I don't think they were used to doing bodybuilding makeup. And then you add a language barrier on top of that. And it was, my makeup was booked for 6, but the makeup artist didn't actually get there until about 20 to 7.
Jesus Christ.
And then my tan was at 7:15. So I'm there like getting stressed about that. And in the end, it was like there was nothing to stress about because it all happened. But I
Mm,
don't think they understood that, you time your meals on
yeah.
stage day
Yeah.
around those things.
Yeah.
And everything's like you're such a delicate kind of little critter at that point and
Mm.
susceptible to stress that if you aren't necessarily used to doing makeup for a bodybuilding show, it's maybe not going to be the stage makeup that as an athlete you're used to.
Mm,
And B, if they don't understand those other intricacies, then to them it's just like, well, it's all right, just wait an hour and we'll get you done. We'll get you done. It's
Yeah.
like, no, because that's the hour that I was going to eat before
mm,
being on stage.
Especially as you were first on at
Yeah,
Empro. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The actual stage setting for Empro was like amazing.
Mm.
Um, Toronto was more kind of a bit more like Two Bros, but Spain had all the LEDs, the big screen.
mm.
Best thing about Spain was, sorry, Manu's trying to catch a fly.
Oh,
The
go
best
on
thing
about it.
about Spain was the big screen behind you.
Oh
So
yeah,
when
that
you
looks sick,
but
mate.
when you turned around to hit your rear shots, you could see yourself. So
Yeah.
I've got something we identified as I got leaner was that switching my hammies on in my rear double was a bit of an issue.
Mm.
But when I could see it on the big screen, I could connect better, so I could actually get my hammies to come through.
It's one of those weird things with hamstrings. Like I was speaking to Alicia about it the other day and saying to her, like last year, I had no, like I just couldn't do it. Like I was on stage, like my glutes were fine, but I just had no connection with my hamstring. Whether that's like a foot positional thing, maybe. But like you said, Rose, sometimes when you need to see it to be able to be like, bang, okay, actually now it's on. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and
Like
then you can
it's
make the connection.
exactly like obviously it's as simple as trying to like essentially grind your like your heel to your bum, but it's sometimes not that easy when you've got all this adrenaline running through your body, and then you're thinking, right, do I look good? Am I
And then
hitting
your
this?
calf starts shaking.
Exactly, yeah. And then you're like, oh, I'm shaking, so I look shit. Like so yeah, it's mad, mate. But no, you looked honestly from obviously what me and Kelly could see.
yeah.
Really, obviously the streams don't do anyone justice, neither do pictures, but yeah, really cool. But anyway, carry
And
on
then
with
what
the story.
happened? Then what happened?
So Toronto got first call outs, then utterly shocked with final call outs.
We were a
Just like,
mess.
what
Oh
the
yeah.
fuck?
We were a mess.
Me and Kelly were like, I can't fucking deal with this.
Yeah. And like fucking Instagram's going off, WhatsApp's going off. I'm just like, fuck, I can't deal with this shit. And then finals came along and they only did the top 5 to do their routine. And I don't, part of my little prep brain forgot that it was probably important to practice my routine in the lead up to Canada. I kind of dropped the ball a little bit with it. And I think some of that was like, oh, I'm not going to have to I'm not going to have to do my routine anyway. So what's, I need to focus on my individual presentation and my mandatories. And then it was like, holy fuck balls, I've actually got to do my routine.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've done a routine with PCA, but the last time I competed with PCA was the end of 2019. And we're now, the beginning of midway through 2023. So it's quite a while since I did a routine. So the pressure did get to me for that backstage. And I was actually nervous to do my routine. Individual presentation, comparisons, mandatories, that was all fine. But yeah, the routine I was a little bit nervous for.
Because how many ladies were there at Toronto? I want to say like 17, 18.
Something like that. Maybe 16,
I thought so.
15. It was definitely around or above 15.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think there was.
Yeah, and then there was 9 in Spain. I think, or 7. I'm not sure.
Interesting that they said
9,
top 5.
7.
Top 5, not top 10. But I guess top 5 is a little bit quicker, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. No, what, Spain?
There was 2 call-ups, each call-up 6 or 7.
Did they?
It was 12, about 12.
About 12 in Spain, I've been informed.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, I think the 6, 7 sounds a bit small.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was smaller than Toronto, but when you're up there, you just don't notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, the routine, I bodged it up 30 seconds in and forgot what I was doing and just repeated the first bit again and walked off.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, they obviously went with the Canadian for Toronto. But I was just absolutely buzzed. Like, to beat Collie was just like someone that I've looked up to and followed for such a long time. And she was absolutely lovely. Like, we got a photo backstage and stuff like that, which was cool. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
And we sort of made the decision on Monday that I was going to do Spain, but I wanted to keep it quiet, mainly because like my phone, and I've sort of discussed this with both of you, my phone at the moment is quite a cause of anxiety. And the amount of back and forth that I felt obliged to do off the back of Toronto was really overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like literally every time I checked Instagram, I had 20 messages. I clear them. 5 minutes later, there was another 20.
From
and
the
I'm
same
just
person.
not. Sorry? Yeah.
From
just
me.
from Kelly.
Kelly's
like,
20
such
accounts.
a stalker.
Yeah. So yeah, I made the decision to keep Spain quiet. Not really put anything on Instagram about it. Well, I don't think until afterwards, I think.
I think you kind of just did story updates, didn't you? You didn't put anything.
Yeah.
Even when you did updates on the story, they weren't like direct updates. I think you put one, and that was it. Because obviously
the rest was like Ruby stuff and
yeah,
things
because
like
I think AJ from obviously Female Bodybuilding Channel reposted something, and that was it. Like
the first when it started to get a little bit hectic was obviously when the list was released.
Yeah.
And people started tagging me, but even then it wasn't as bad as Toronto.
Yeah.
So came back from Toronto. I had the Monday off after Toronto, and then initially before the show we were talking about, oh yeah, we'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, explore the city, that sort of thing. But I just, when it came to it, I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm still on prep. I need to still, and we kept saying we're going to go in explore Toronto, and then we'd go and train, and it would be 4 o'clock by the time we'd finish training, and we just thought, nah. So yeah, we just enjoyed the gym really and came home again. We did go to Burlington on the Monday, which is like by a river, or a lake, which is beautiful, and had the most amazing burgers. Came back to the UK, and I'd sort of I was like, I'm gonna dig. And I did. I had the Wednesday, my last cardio session, I had 2 hypos during that cardio session.
Yay!
And that was I had the first
Deep.
hypo, had 35 grams of whey. 20 minutes later, had the second hypo, and it's the first time that I've not been able to finish a cardio session because I was like, 2 hypos, that's enough.
Do you just ride them out? Like how I've never had a hypo where I've not been in an off season before.
So I can't drink myself out of it. Like
Yeah.
Dan will have a load of water and it will kind of bring him out of it, but I can't do that. It would just go
Yeah.
further. So I started taking like emergency whey with me
Yeah.
when I only had a few, luckily. I've had worse preps where I've had more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just have that protein and that brings me out of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I will take it from somewhere else in the diet.
Yeah.
And have that. And then that brought me out of it. But when I had the second one, it was like this, I can't
Going to die.
just
But I'm thinner.
But I'm shredded.
I'm lean,
sweaty,
but I'm
shaky mess.
dying.
So yeah, that was the Wednesday. We flew out on the Thursday, started the carb up Thursday afternoon into the weekend. Went and trained at Titan Gym, which
That looked good, to be fair. Busy though. Like it looked
oh
real
mate,
busy.
it's fucking tiny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
literally, there was not enough room to swing a ruby in that place.
Oh.
It was
How did you and
and
Dan fit in there?
fuck
For like
knows. Oh, yeah. So there was some fucking influencer poncing around with his fucking videographer.
Oh.
He's got, yeah, over 500,000 followers. I don't know if you can hear Dan, so I'm kind of repeating what he
No.
said. But yeah, he was like, do you understand English? Yeah, mate. Fuck off then. Like literally, Dan was saying he was trying to do lat raises and he's more or less giving this guy a fucking tickle under the chin as he's doing with his elbow as he's doing these lat raises. And there was one point that was cable lat raises. I was on the lat raise machine and there's a videographer trying to rest her camera on the moving part of the lat raise machine. I was just like,
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah. Spain was mainly marked by Dan telling random strangers to fuck off,
I love that.
including
That I'm here for
Erin's videographer on show day.
that.
Oh god.
I knew who he was, and he'd sat in Dan's seat whilst Dan had gone up for a piss or gone somewhere. And like literally, Dan's come back and he's stressed because I'm stressed because everything's fucking running behind. And he's just literally looked at this kid and gone, "You're in my seat. Fuck off." And afterwards, I was
That's
like,
Dad.
that's Erin's videographer. Potty.
Fucking hell. Yes,
Yeah,
Dan.
Dan had just had enough of the Spanish that, yeah.
Don't blame me.
So he
Don't
did
blame
apologize and it's all good now. But yeah, that was quite amusing.
Oh,
And then what happened?
Oh yeah. I kind of won the show.
yes.
Hey, Jesus Christ, this is the longest. Basically, she's going to the Olympia. It's taken forever to get there. What are we,
I'm
like half hour in?
Setting the scene.
Oh,
It's like when Danny tells a story.
People want to know.
Yeah, to be fair.
But it's
I
like
know, I'm
even when
only
I was
joking.
stood at the diagonals and they were calling all the other places and they called second, even though I'd got first call outs, even though I'd been in the middle of been in the middle of those first call outs and got final call outs, I'm still looking at the other chicks stood on the diagonals thinking, well, it could be any of them. Like it and
We
yeah,
didn't.
it wasn't, it was me. It's fucking mental.
It was Romana.
Fucking mental.
Your
Getting
face
like
was amazing.
Yeah,
it's
those
just-
photos.
Especially when they
took.
give you the ring. Your face was like the woman out. It was like a pretty woman, you know, when he gives her that necklace.
Yeah.
it was
My favorite though is on Instagram where the guy interviews Romana after, and he's obviously got like a Spanish accent, and you
oh no,
can't
no,
understand.
he was
Where
I
is
think
he?
he was actually
Oh,
African.
Oh, I thought he was like Puerto
Well,
Rican or something.
Emilio or the black
The
dude
woman, the man that was interviewing you, and I was like, I can't understand him. And your face said it all. You were
Yeah,
so,
the
you were
short white
literally
guy.
looking at
Yeah.
him like,
Yeah.
have you
Part of
seen it,
that, it
Sarah? I
wasn't
couldn't
exactly-
stop laughing.
It wasn't his accent. It was the fact I couldn't fucking hear a thing because the
Yeah.
music was so loud in there.
He was like,
Like,
I'll see you at Orlando, and you were like,
Yeah.
And like the MC that did a little like, have you got a few words to say? I couldn't hear him either. And
Yeah.
like he had quite a thick accent, and it was just like,
My name is Jeff.
because
My name is Jeff.
normally if I can't hear somebody, I'll lip read. But when
Yeah.
they've got an accent, I can't
Just
lip read
nod.
it because obviously
Clearly
the
you
word
just nod, Mana. I couldn't. I messaged in. I was like, I have just watched the interview and I couldn't stop laughing.
the Spanish woman that interviewed Dan and I don't know if you've seen that one. She was
No.
fucking all over her shit. Like literally, she's interviewing me, and Dan stood like just behind the camera, and she's like, "Oh, Dan, come here, come here." So she knew his name. She knew that we had dogs. She'd done a deep dive on
She's
fucking
been
Instagram.
stalking you.
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah.
make you feel?
Hashtag stalker.
Dan was like, she needs a pay rise for that.
Yeah, mate.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like some of these like interviewers or just people that are very in the sport, like they know a lot about you just from like social media and shit like that. Like it's mad. But
Yeah.
no, it was mad. Like some of the pictures that they took, bro, of you when you got the ring. Do you need to get some of that fucking framed? Like,
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working
yeah,
on it.
because there's some beautiful photos, really are.
We need a bigger house.
Oh yeah, all your sort of stuff now.
Yeah. I think the Olympia board's going up there. Going up on the
Oh
wall.
fuck yeah, yeah, that'd be sick.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I need to actually do something. The ring's just still in the box. And the tiara is missing a gem because 30 seconds after they put it on my head, I fucking knocked it off.
Oh,
Like a dickhead.
not the tiara.
Yeah. It's funny, the my pro winning tiara is missing stones as well because I knocked that off the side and it went all over the floor.
Just like this
Why
thing
does that
happened.
not surprise me?
I'm one of these people, right? If I go into a clothes shop and I like look at something on the rack, if I move that, everything else on the rack will just spontaneously fall on the floor, as well as the item that I'm holding.
Just like everything combusts.
Yeah, it's fucking just calamity.
That's why we're banned from going ice skating.
Yeah.
Good band. Oh yeah, actually no, it makes a lot of sense to be fair. Can't imagine you two ice skating.
We'd need one of those penguins each that you use for balance.
I know I'm really good because I used to rollerblade and skate, but
I used to as well, but I'm still fucking liability.
40, yeah, true.
Imagine you with a penguin, Romana. This IFBB professional penguin. I've got a little penguin.
I'd probably throw my back out because they're designed for children, so it'd be too small.
There must be like an adult Zimmer frame version.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be funny. Oh, so
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So Sarah you're on prep as well.
Yeah, 8 weeks out on Saturday. So you know how it is, just ticking along, doing the thing, doing the do. It's nothing really too exciting, to be honest.
You'll be competing as I start prep again.
Yeah, because when do you start prep again? August, mid-August, I guess it would be.
I think so. Mid-August, end of August.
Makes about sense.
When am I starting prep again? 12 weeks out. So whenever that takes us up to.
That'll be
Depends how fat I get.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be, I think, because I've got it written down somewhere. I don't actually know. I think that'll be maybe late August then.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it'd be somewhere around then. But it's been an interesting post-show phase because I had last week completely off the gym.
Yeah.
And it's the first time really, excuse me, Ruby just hacked. It's the first time really I've not gone, well, no, I didn't go full retard after my last pro show for figure back in 2021. That was other factors resulted in quite a large amount of water retention that made me look fatter than I was. But literally this week, like I've been too full to really binge.
I mean, to be fair, like your update, which went up today, looked sharp. You look just full as a house, you know?
Yeah. I'm 9 pounds up, and Dan was like, I didn't expect you to hold the condition that you've got.
Yeah. You could probably jump on stage like next week and win.
Yeah.
My midsection's a bit blown out. We went for Italian on Saturday. We're both
That'll do it.
Still reading.
All of the pasta. That was the worst Italian. I sounded like I had an Indian accent. I can't do Italian.
All of the pasta. That's how you sounded.
Oh God.
Oh, nice, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
We actually had some prosecco.
Oh,
Oof.
nice. I
So I had
love
my birthday, still recovering.
Oh yeah, the big 6-0 was it?
Yeah, big 6.
To be fair, I think
I'm
I
not as
drank
old.
most.
I'm not as old as Penny. What's she?
Penny's old.
56?
She loves me for that. She doesn't let me forget that either. Bless her. But yeah, so what's the plan now, Ro? Just a little bit of an off-season improvement, and then because I'm assuming, did you get any feedback?
I've emailed for feedback, but I
Okay,
haven't had a reply as of yet.
okay,
I don't expect things to come through very quickly because how many athletes has she got a reply to?
yeah.
That's
Because
Mm.
do you know who
ridiculous.
the judges were?
So it was Becky. Can't remember her surname.
Crawford.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
She's beautiful.
Yes, yeah,
Mm.
American blonde lady.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think it's Martinez, who I've been judged by before,
Yeah.
and another guy who I don't know his name, but he's got like flesh tunnels, piercings, and a fuck ton of tattoos. He looks like Fred Durst, which is
Oh,
quite cool.
cool. Old
He,
Fred Durst, because I don't know if you've seen him lately.
oh,
I
he
think
looks
I
like a
sent
young
you
Fred
that
Durst.
video, didn't I?
I
That
don't,
old guy. And I was like, who is that? But then he would be now.
yeah, I suppose he would be, wouldn't he? Um, yeah, so those two had judged me in figure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've seen too many people, so I don't think they would
Mm.
have. My figure debut and show after that was like the less said about that, the better.
Yeah. Let's put that under the carpet.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't actually remember who the other judges were.
Yeah. Yeah. We got that main head judge, didn't you? And that's it, really.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I guess off season, bit of improvement, and then go back into prep for I guess.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
fucking mental.
With
That
your
is
coat.
mad.
I need to like message Alex Smalls or Rhea Gale and be like, so what happens next?
Yeah, legit. It's like I don't know what's going on, where to go, how it works. Because you get reimbursed for your flights and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but it
No,
works.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard they rather than reimbursement, they pay, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
But then I've also heard they give you cash. I don't know how that
Mm.
works either.
No, I
Money,
think
money,
it's
money.
Mm.
easier to just email, like speak to Rhea or Alex.
Yeah,
Because I
probably.
It's
Yeah.
like,
probably
even if
Alex,
you go
'cause-
first class, or is there a limit? Or
Yeah.
well, we did say we're going to upgrade to like business class.
Fucking A, it's worth it.
The flight back, I need to remember not to fly back the day after.
Or
There's
did you?
Leap Head.
There was Alita head. Alita, come say hello. Oh, she's scratching the cats. She's gonna come say hello in a minute.
she's a cat person now.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, so I'll probably pop Alex a message. I know her more on a back and forth level than Rhea.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
Rhea
Mm.
did message me saying congratulations, which was quite
Oh,
cool.
that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Good old
And
Rhea.
Hollingshead commenting on Tom's post was also
That's always mad, isn't it? When Hollingshead comments on stuff.
yeah.
It's always fun. I was gonna say something. Has Alex qualified for the O?
I don't know if she's competing this year.
No, I have a feeling she isn't actually. Now I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it. Has Rhea qualified?
I don't know yet.
I don't
Phoebe
think
has, hasn't she? Smaller
yes.
category, but
Hogan,
Hogan isn't she Hagen? Isn't
Hagen.
Hogan as in Hulk Hogan?
I don't know.
I thought she was Hogan.
Oh, I don't know.
You're
then.
Welsh. You speak funny.
Here's Alita. Hello,
speak
Alita.
funny. You
Come say
speak
hello.
funny.
Say hello to everyone.
Oh, she
It is
looks like
Hagen.
she's been handing out. She's been to Glastonbury at the gates.
She has.
She's in a high vis jacket.
Can't bring any booze in. No vapes.
You love it, don't you?
Did
You
you
love
see
it.
that woman that was on TV that took a vape off somebody and it was spiked?
No?
Yeah,
What?
There's a lot of that happening.
Really?
yeah, spiking
That's mad.
vapes.
How do you spike a vape?
Well, it's what the oil you put in it, isn't it?
I suppose, yeah, because you can get THC oil and you can probably get all sorts of other
Got some
fucking shit.
retinol in there.
Oh, geez, that's a bit scary, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh,
But then
dear.
don't share a vape.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Oh, nobody. If
He-
you're
he-
looking at the video, Lara does this to me. There's nothing
Yeah,
like
he's
a cat butthole in your face.
He started doing it like
Climbing
late.
on Leek's shoulders for those that are listening. So Sarah got a cat.
Yeah, yeah, I got a
was-
cat. Yeah, he's a
She
cute.
decided that after
Bless
getting to
him.
know me, what, for 3 months, you're like, I think I need a cat.
Yeah, I can't deal with this. I need Kelly and in my life, Kelly in my life, and then cats in my life.
You were so, the first week that Sarah had Nimbus, it was like, Kelly, I think he's breathing funny. And then she'd send me a video of him breathing. I was like, he's fine. It's just anxious. Like the first night, it's just nervous. Kelly, what, like, he's not eating. What do I give him now?
Like legit,
And
like
now look at
first time
him.
parent nerves.
Yeah,
Literally,
it
he's
was
having a
though,
great
wasn't
time.
it? And now look at him, living the dream.
He's living the life, isn't he? He's a bit
He's so
bitey.
big since I last saw him as
Yeah.
well.
And
Yeah, I
you
know.
look at his foot and his feet, you can see how big he's gonna. He's gonna a lot more growth than him. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
He's
big
like trying to
boy.
grow into his back legs. He can't sit.
Yeah.
They're so fucking big, but he's very sweet. He's a bit bitey though, but he's getting to that point where his like balls are
He'll
coming
stop.
through.
Do
Yeah.
do cats mouth, Kelly?
So no. So what cats do, they basically you'll see if there's say you bring in a package or something and it's got plastic or something that they don't recognize, they'll chew it. And that's how they identify textures. It's how they kind of sort of smell, like dogs smell things. Cats don't do that, they'll chew it. So also when you're playing, they'll do that as well. They'll bite, but it's because they're play biting. Like if she had two cats, they would bite each other. So cats almost treat their human as another cat. They don't see you as a human or as an owner. That's why they literally just shit and expect you to clean it up.
Because puppies do this thing where they mouth, where they like it's to do with bonding, and it's what they do to their mum to stimulate milk when they're like breastfeeding.
No, that's what the beans is with cats. So when they make dough,
Yeah.
that's the mouthing. It's where they
Cutest thing
need
ever.
the booby to get milk.
Yeah.
And they'll do that forever. They don't grow
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Ruby will still do it in certain sort of forms of play.
Mm.
I love how we've
But,
gone from the Olympia to cats.
Welcome to our brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good boy. How is Ruby anyway, Ro? She's been up and down all over the place, isn't she? Traveling around.
She's suffering with the heat and her itching. I dropped the ball with being on prep and traveling. Ran out of her sort of anti-itch medication.
Yeah.
So she's been a little bit distressed the last few days. But I've got an appointment with the vet tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, bless her. Bless her cotton socks,
That'll
mate.
be it pisses me off because it's like it's a skin condition. She's had it all her life. She will have it all her life. But yet you insist on making me come to an appointment
Yeah.
every 6 months for something that's not going to change, that you get to charge me 50 quid on top of the 50 quid that costs for her medication anyway. And then no doubt you'll tell me all the other things.
Have you tried just going for your appointment and just getting the script off them and getting it online? It's so much cheaper.
You could do that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Oh, okay then. Might just be worth
It's
doing it.
much more cheaper than going to a vet.
Yeah, for that. Especially paying the appointment and the stuff on top.
It's like she needs some more anti-itch shampoo. And I looked online and that's on prescription.
Yeah.
And that's like 16 quid online, but I know they're going to charge me like 36 quid for that. So yeah,
I need that to put on my leg.
do.
My horsefly bites on my leg.
You're like basically turning into a horsefly.
Oh, it's so itchy.
Poor Erin, she was covered in mosquito welts before she. Yeah.
I bet that didn't. How did she feel with the tan going on it?
She didn't say very much. She said that because she had some. That was one thing, because I got bitten. I got one bite on my leg, and Dan went out and hunter gathered some like antihistamine creams.
What are you going to say? Like, as in, went out and hunted the mosquitoes down. How dare
We did that as well. Think like
Karate Kid with chopsticks.
What's it? Karate Kid.
Yeah, that's what he said. Karate Kid with his little chopsticks catching mozzies.
Wax on, wax off mosquitoes.
They're just, what is the point? Like, what is the point of a horsefly? My son was like, why is it so swollen? I said, because they land in shit and then bite you.
Yeah.
Legit. Legit. Also, Ro, something you are now sponsored by Full Bore.
Oh yes, yeah,
Yes.
That's changed.
which is pretty cool. My
Yeah.
first, well, no, got obviously C's, but I've never had a supplement sponsor before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is
So,
she?
huh?
Who is she?
Me or
Yeah.
Suze?
No, who is she?
Yeah,
You.
fuck
It's like
knows.
my
She's a new
sponsors.
lady. Yeah.
Yeah, I did my first blog post yesterday.
Girl. Who's that girl?
Oh,
Somebody said that in the commentary when you were on stage, and I think I messaged Sarah going, "Oh God, they called her the British girl."
Yeah.
Girl, no, that was it. The girl from the UK. I was like, oh.
She's gonna hate that.
like fucking hell, I've not been a girl for over 20 years.
And then your song is "I'm Just a Girl."
It's ironic.
I know.
Ironic.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm keeping the music. I'm just going to try and polish the routine a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, full ball sponsorship. We're going up to Manchester in 2 weeks to film some content, which would be cool. I'm wanting to get my teeth into the education side of things as well.
Yeah.
Now I've
The
got
education stuff with Full Bore is like so good.
mm,
It looks so
yeah.
good. Have you got a code that people could use if they need to, Ro?
It's row 10.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Wait, was it Nat said something about traps 10?
Traps 10, i.e. Romana.
Yeah. But yeah, he did put Romana to start off with, but I was
Yeah.
like, people kind of know me as Ray from the pod and it's easier to spell.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And it's just row 10.
Row.
Yeah. Because if it's
Row
like
10.
if somebody's got to look up my name
Mm.
to know how it's spelled, then it's kind of a bit more difficult with the
Because you
discount
can't
code.
put your surname because not even I can pronounce that half the time.
Bless her. But yeah.
They actually got it right in Spain, which is cool.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they get it right in Toronto?
I think they did. I can't really remember.
I love it because they're in Spain, they roll their R's a bit like the Welsh.
Ugh.
Romana.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like the words I know in Spanish I can pronounce quite well because of my tongue thrust.
Cerveza.
Very
Chorizo.
chorizo. Although I can't eat chorizo, it makes me sick.
Does
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. But it
It's
won't be that
oily
day.
as hell, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be the day
All
after.
those kind of those types of sausages are oily.
Yeah.
Pepperoni's disgusting.
It was insane coming off stage, like, and people wanting a photo. I had to go and hide in the car.
So famous now.
I remember that. We're like, I've had
Well,
enough. It's
well, I
because
was
you were
trying to
like, I
talk-
wasn't expecting interviews and shit after.
No,
Yeah.
it just wasn't. And like Marty from South Coast Powerhouse, the gym I first started bodybuilding in, he was out there watching as well. And we were out by like all the stalls and stuff outside of the actual show venue. Excuse me, trying to have a chat. And yeah, people kept asking him to take photos of me with them. It's just like, I'm going to sit in the car.
Yeah. I need to breathe.
Yeah. And then it was really nice because I just put my phone away. I didn't go on Instagram until probably gone midday on the Monday.
Nice. Just a bit of breathing space, right?
Yeah. We just went for a nice meal and just like, yeah, appreciated the moment together rather than both being sat on our phones replying to people back in the UK and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That's quite
the best
cool.
thing to do.
Are you now back on your phones and not talking again?
Yeah.
That's how relationships work.
Oh yeah.
Me and Danny text each other and we're in the same house.
Yeah, I did that just before the podcast because I had like Ruby on my laptop set up. I'm trying to like sort Zoom out because it was being a dickhead.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, if you go into the shop, can you get me some Alpro?
Oh dear. But yeah, all exciting stuff, Aero. Super exciting. And you get the fucking sweet stash too.
Yeah.
Stash is lush from the Olympia.
Yeah.
But yeah. What's new with you, Kel? What's going on? You're in a mini car, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barely see me. I am so thin. I'm a week in. We're doing 3 weeks cutting, then a week of maintenance, and 3 week cut to see where we are.
Yeah.
Dropped like the shit weight, isn't it? Like like 2.5 kilos first 3 days. It just comes off, doesn't it? Because I went from like no cardio to like 20 minutes in the morning. So your body's like, what the fuck? My DOM's in my legs. It's like, what are you doing? Because I haven't really cut since my prep, because I had my surgery. I reversed out of my prep, had my surgery, and then got chunky. So now this is the first time I felt hungry.
Yeah, well, I guess that's nice.
Yeah, it is quite nice. And I've got more. I don't know what you like, what you're like, but I find when I'm cutting, I've got more energy.
Yeah.
Oh, way more. Way more.
Way
Not
more
in a carb
energy.
coma. And
Yeah.
you find things to do to kind of distract you from
Yeah, that's what it is. Like I thought, how am I going to hit 14,000 steps? But I'm like up early, I'm out and around. Like I got to like 14,000 by 4 o'clock, and I'm sat down for like 8 hours. It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
constantly moving.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
shark.
me.
Oh, yeah, like a shark.
So yeah, I'm starting to feel in a good place. And I think at the end of this cut, we're just gonna push again then, and then look at shows next year.
I was going to say, you're going to get back on stage.
Yeah, hopefully. I had a little bit of a wobble, shall we say. Marna knows about it. I had a phone call. So because of my fucked up jeans, for those that don't know, when
Not the one that she
BRCA1
wears.
I can't fit any jeans, Marna. Like
Hashtag wellness.
Also, weather, hashtag weather.
Yeah.
Jay,
Genes as in genetics.
Yeah. So I've got a BRCA1 defect, which is why I had the double mastectomy. But the other part is that I've got I think it was 65 to 70% chance of ovarian cancer. So I was
Kelly hit the
scheduled to
bad
have...
luck tree every branch as she fell out of it.
But it's good. We can rebuild our tree, minus a few branches.
Yeah.
So I was meant to have my tubes removed, and then I had my mastectomy surgery first. It was the plan to be the other way around because it's easier to recover. But my mastectomy was horrendous. This post-surgery, I had infections. So I had a phone call,
When she says she has infections, she was fucking septic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than just, and it like, we're not talking just an infected wound site. We're talking the infection spread from the wound site and was round her body.
Yeah.
Meaning that it's systemic, so it's everywhere. Yeah. She's downplaying. She's a fucking warrior.
So it was fine. Got through that a few times.
Smashed it.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Had antibiotics, gave me thrush. That was interesting.
Fucking hell.
Thrush is for life, not just for Christmas.
That's the thing, because I was on like 6 weeks of antibiotics. I was like, my digestion was horrendous. It gives you thrush, and you're like, what am I like? This is too much.
These tablets will help, but on the other side, they'll give you fanny.
Yeah. Yeah, queuing there like, please help me. I can't
doing
pee.
that little dance that kids do when they need a piss because you're so itchy.
Sit in the bath to pee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a phone call and I still haven't rung them back because it hasn't really... I've discussed it with Babs, my coach, and Romana. Sort of discussed it with Danny, but it's easier with a woman.
Yeah.
So I had an answer machine message saying, hi, this is the consultant's receptionist, or whatever, not receptionist, what are they called? Secretary. We'd like to schedule a date for your surgery. So to have my fallopian tubes removed, because they believe that's where ovarian cancer starts. So you can have your tubes removed, keep your ovary, so I won't go into menopause.
Yeah.
Surgical menopause, which is literally like wake up and you're in menopause. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And I kind of listened to the answering machine message, and then I was driving home and I was like, shit, I actually forgot to tell Romana about that. I'd had left a voice message like 15 minutes and then left you another one saying, oh yeah, I forgot to say.
Yeah.
And then I kind of played it through and I thought, do you know what? I'm in such a good place at the moment that it would not be right for me to go through another surgery, even though the recovery would be like 3 days, probably a week's downtime. Mentally, I can't do it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I panic because of the risk that potentially, yes, you know, I'm at risk, but I've gone 40 years so far. And my breast cancer risk was a lot higher, and actually mentally, I really couldn't cope.
And there's a lot to be said for the mental space you're in, being
Yeah.
so beneficial to recovery. And I do wonder if, because you were obviously, I hope you don't mind me saying, you were really struggling with work-related stress, and
100%.
like
Same as
where I
you.
am or where I was
Yeah.
back in February,
Mm.
the time you had your surgery,
Yeah.
and that, your cortisol would have been through the roof,
Mm.
inflammatory markers would have been through the roof because of that. It just does make it harder to recover. So
Yeah.
it's different if you've got to have emergency life-threatening surgery. But
100%.
if there's an elective
Planned.
element to it that you
Yeah.
can control, being in that mental headspace where you're like, do you know what? I feel ready to take this on. Will, I believe, and there is research out there to suggest that's also the case,
Yeah.
put you in a good stead for the recovery.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's good you recognize that as well, Kel. Like some people just go into it and be like, right, just need to get it done. But no, you recognize that you're in a good place. So let's just leave it a little bit longer and then get it done.
Yeah,
When
plus, it'd be nice to, if I'm a little bit leaner, they wouldn't have so much fat to chop through to when they remove my tubes.
tubes.
So it's for their benefit, really.
Yeah, slimming the area down so they haven't got to get a thicker knife. But it's done all, laparoscopy. Yeah.
So that's
hopefully
where they basically put holes in, blow your stomach up with air, and they
Yeah.
don't actually make a large incision. It's just
Yeah.
lots of
Little tiny
incisions.
holes. I think they make 3 holes.
Yeah, I say lots, 3.
Oh mate, I bet you're so like gassy after.
Well, that's what the recovery is. So, because there's nowhere for it to go. So it's not like you can fart it out because it's not in your bowels. It's literally in the
In your
space.
peritoneum.
Yeah.
Oh, so how does it escape?
It just absorbs into your body and
Oh,
takes a while. I'm part of this Facebook group that was actually amazing for BRCA1 and BRCA2 people. Some of it, they're horrifying stories. But you do get a good idea of recovery time, what it's like. And I got a lot of information from that. And I made a lot of my decisions based on that, not what the consultant tells you.
Yeah.
Because even now people say to me, I can't believe you had that long off. Like when I had my boobs done, I was back in the gym after 4 weeks. And I literally feel like just punching them in the face. Good for you. That's what I normally do. Good for you.
That's I've had quite a lot of messages about I've got a really good tactic for dealing with stress and anxiety. Have you tried breath work? And it's like
yes,
I don't
breathe.
Breath work is really, really beneficial. But the problem was where my head was at, I couldn't deal with the silence in my own head to do the fucking breath work. Because that silence was just a fucking floodgate for my mind to just I had to stop going to yoga, and I fucking love yoga.
Yeah.
Deal with being in my own head with everything that was going on for so long. That's why sleeping.
Other people deep breathing.
Yeah. The sound of other people breathing.
Like Ruby.
But I'm so glad that you went for PTSD, because I remember having that conversation with you and saying, like, Mana, I identify so much with how you're feeling. And I can remember you saying to me, I really, I don't think it is PTSD, because you thought that PTSD was linked to one particular trauma, because that's what I had. Well, 1 and a bit traumas.
Yeah.
And I was so chuffed that you actually identified with that and went for it.
So I've had the informal diagnosis, and then I've got to wait until the 3rd of August for the formal diagnosis. I thought it was going to be the 20th, but that was actually, I got confused. I read an email in prep, and one of the symptoms is obviously trying to information process. I just got it wrong, and it was actually an occupational health report, assessment with work, which was still had its benefits, because it reminded me of some of the staff support services that I had utilised when I first went off, and we thought it was anxiety, but hadn't re-engaged with, because I just hadn't thought of it. Now that the symptoms had sort of have evolved. But yeah, that was fun. Walking back to the car from the Airbnb between prejudging and finals, and there was some Spanish festival on, and they were throwing fucking firecrackers left,
what
right,
what were they singing in Spanish? Was it Lion King or something?
Oh yeah, Lion King.
Circle of Life in Spanish.
that was the Friday. It was Lion King. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Love it.
How are you feeling mentally, Sarah?
Yeah, like not too bad, to be honest. Like I had a bit of a like not necessarily a wobble, but like just this like sudden. I mean, me and Ro have spoken about it loads about like pressure that we put on ourselves and stuff like that. And I had this overwhelming amount of pressure. But like now I'm kind of being a little bit more at peace with myself. Like I got a meeting with a sports psychologist on Thursday, just like as a one monthly thing on if I need it. I mean, if that depends if we gel, like I don't know. So we're gonna have a chat on Thursday. Just more to take control of like not my mental capacity, but like thinking of things in a different way instead of being like so direct with how I'm thinking. Because realistically, like, you know, we all get it in the fact that it is literally the pressure that makes me crumble. That's the only thing. And I just kind of like I enjoy prep. I love prep. Like it challenges us. It teaches us a lot about ourselves. And it's only the thing where I put that's that much pressure on myself where I don't start to enjoy it. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? Like me and Roto spoke about it the other day, and this past week I've been like, I'm just gonna go and where the pegs fall, they'll fall. Like it, you know, I'm only 26. I've got years and years in this sport. Like I'll just fucking go up there and give it my best shot. And like obviously the shows that I've picked are one of the couple of the biggest shows. Granted, Alicante, not well, I guess it's not as big as Texas, but I'm going to be standing against some Olympians, and I want to stand up against them because I realistically I don't know how far I have to go. Because I said to Tom the other day, I was like, how like if I stood next to Natalia, like how bigger do I need to get? And he said, well, we just don't know until you stand next to Olympian. So even if I didn't reach the top 5, but I stood up against 5 top placing Olympians, then I'll be able to stand and be like, okay, actually I need to work on this and this in order to be a little bit more competitive next year. So
but as you know, are you comparing yourself to Instagram? Because take Collie for example, like we were just like, she's huge, she's massive. Yet you saw Mana on stage with her, and it's like shit. Like, because I remember Mana, you saying like, oh, I think she's going to outsize me, and it's like, it's so, and that's the thing with social media.
That's
you
it.
know,
Exactly.
you can't judge size, can you? You can't.
No, that's it. Like that's why we had this discussion. In fact, that you just need to stand next to them. Like same with Roe and Collie. Like last year, there was a girl called Jessica Campbell, and her silhouette is like the most beautiful silhouette I think I've ever seen. But I was bigger than her on stage. Do you know what I mean? It's completely mad, like how much of an influence social media has on your physique. This is why, like, I mean, again, I was speaking to Roe about it the other day. I just kind of stopped putting physique updates up because I don't want people to have this influence that I look like this on Instagram and then see me in real life and be like, oh, actually, do you know what I mean? Yeah, literally. Like I can't deal with that. So, and you know, I think social media is great. Like, yes, I have a business and stuff like that, but I think there's a limit as to, you know, we need to look after ourselves a lot. And if we're so confined by social media and feel so led by it, then, you know, for me, I just, you know, I think it's just I will put stuff out there when I want to, but for me, I need to focus on this is my time now. Like it's very important to do it, but I don't give a fuck. Like if people want to know, they want to know. But you know,
it was something I felt for the first time between once the list was released from Spain, and even before then, having come second, I was like, but what if I'm like 8th in Spain?
Exactly, that's it. There's always this like what if, isn't there? You know? Yeah. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, like so much better than last year. Like last year was such a pile of crap. Like I was in such a bad way.
You
Obviously,
seem in a better place.
Yeah, like I'm just taking things as it is. Like I'm really enjoying the process.
It's your circle.
Yeah, that's it. I've got a good bunch of people in. Yeah. Yeah, like I've got a good circle, like a more confined circle this year as well. Like I'm not literally anything affect me from outside, and just like, and obviously with now being self-employed, I can literally, my routine is the same every day. I control every variable that I can control, and it's just so much like less stress, which is really nice. So just plodding along doing it. I just want to, like, after seeing Ro on stage, like I just want to get on stage. Like I'm bored of this. I just want to be in the trenches, as everyone's calling it, you know. I just want to be shredded now, but I've got
bullets flying over your head.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in the trenches. As everyone
in a nice. I mean, the worst thing about Sucks
with the
is
vest
it's really hot.
Oh, mate, have you been there recently, Ro?
No.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sweat balls.
Do they have aircon or no aircon?
Yeah, they have fans, but it just blows hot air around.
What's worse is a gym like mine that has aircon that doesn't turn it on.
Yeah, Pure
What?
Gym
Why
were
would you
like
do
that.
that?
I noticed today when I went in, they've turned the aircon on,
I
but all
was
the way
like,
through
people
prep,
will die.
it's like it's still got
Put
the
the
fucking
aircon
heaters
on.
on.
Yeah.
What the
Especially
fuck?
training legs. It is just like,
Horrendous. Yeah,
I oh, my knee just cracked. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was my knee.
age.
Hashtag old. Um,
A hashtag I'm older.
yeah, makes me feel better about myself. Um, Something I just want to touch on quickly. Obviously, you guys know, but I popped it up on Instagram today. And I made the decision over the weekend to leave
Go to
Tom and
bikini.
go to bikini. Yeah. Fucking
Sorry,
hell.
that was a very serious
Somewhere on my
moment.
phone.
Fuck's sake, Kelly. Spoiler
No.
moment.
Somewhere on my phone, there is a photo of me trying to do bikini poses, but it was when I was bigger and it still looked ridiculous. So it'd look even more ridiculous now. Yeah, I've made the decision to leave Tom and Team Evo. A lot of that, the rationale behind that, other than the fact that I'm going into a job where I'm only going to be doing 3 days a week and I'm going to be going down to £21,000 a year. Fuck knows. But it's like money's, as long as I can pay my bills and have a bit left over, I can
Hashtag
boost.
muscle worship. You can do OnlyFans now. You're not
Yeah.
in the ambulance service. You're not
I'd
bringing them into
rather chop-
disrepute now. You can
I'd
get your feet out.
rather spoon my eye out with a rusty spoon. Yeah, that's not, no criticism for anyone that chooses to do that. It's just not for me.
No, same.
Yeah, so part of it is, again, like I said earlier, my phone causing massive amounts of anxiety and I don't want to look at it. And to have somebody else to communicate with when I struggle to actually verbalize how I'm feeling, it just makes it more difficult. And like Dan would have to do a lot of talking to Tom on my behalf because I just didn't have the capacity for it. So to sort of help overall reduce my stress, Dan is taking over doing everything, really.
Yeah.
Go on,
Like,
Dan.
obviously, he's done my training for near enough. Well, it must be about a year now.
When you say everything, like wash your hair, brush your
Yeah,
teeth,
yeah. He's going to brush my teeth for me. He's going to take my
full-time
contacts
carer.
out for me. I don't know if I'd let him draw my eyebrows on. That could go
Oh my
horrendously
God.
wrong.
Be
He's
like
just
your
said,
makeup in Spain. It can't be worse.
he just said he'd draw angry ones on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have one here and one down here.
Love it.
It's like my stepdad had alopecia and he debated having his eyebrows tattooed, but what put him off was in case they grew back and they grew back in a different place where they'd been tattooed.
I've seen somebody who had eyebrow tattoos and then had Botox and literally turned their eyebrows into like Spock.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
that's also happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think, like I said to you, Ray, the other day, like this is your journey, like, and you need to make the decisions that's going to benefit you in the long run. And if that benefits you in multiple ways, then absolutely do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
I do feel bad for Tom that, you know, he's obviously invested 18 months into me and then it's like a qualified PO and I'm like, bye. But it's about creating an environment that's as stress-free as possible. And it's like I've done a big thing with work and reducing that side of things, but that will help my overall anxiety, but it won't reduce the PTSD symptoms themselves. But being less anxious in overall helps me sleep, which helps me manage my symptoms. And it's just little things like I was getting stressed in Toronto and Spain about the fact that I needed to eat meal 3 and then check in an hour and a half afterwards. But we were going to go, meal 3 was my pre-workout and we were going to go train. And it's like, well, training takes me like an hour and a half and then it's finding somewhere to do the video. And like Spain, especially, Toronto, the posing room was big enough that I could send a video. But Spain, the posing room was like a fucking shoebox. And like, then there's all these other pros trying to get in to do their posing and their check-ins and they're interrupting me. And it was just like fucking little stress head over here, completely spiraling out of control.
Yeah. Makes sense. And if Dan's there with you, you can literally be like, we need to change this and this, and then it's done.
Yeah.
Just eliminates the stress.
On prep, you literally, when you have to check in, it's literally just like down trousers in the street. That's what I did in Bournemouth. Checked in the back of my boot, like in the street.
Yeah, love
because
that.
I booked an Airbnb that didn't have a garden.
Oh, great. Classic Kel.
It was a really nice Airbnb though, and we smuggled Ruby in.
Yes, we did, didn't we? After I drove round and round and round because my phone battery had died and I couldn't actually find you.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice Airbnb.
When
we
was
had to leave Ruby in the Airbnb, didn't we?
Bournemouth.
No, when were you in Bournemouth?
FitX last year, wasn't it?
FitX.
Ah, touche.
That was the day that I
It's the
messaged.
same date. We both did. You did. It was the 4th of June.
How was it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Told you,
And that was
I told you there was so many things. It was the 4th of June, my year of birth, all the stars. But you can't call me a lucky charm, let's be honest. Like the biggest shit luck ever. Perhaps I just give it to everyone else.
Working for eval.
Yeah.
Or I messaged eval.
Yeah, I love that. All these things.
That's why I have no luck, because everyone steals it around me.
You need to get like a lucky rabbit's foot or a sprig of heather tattooed on you somewhere.
Yeah.
4-leaf clover.
Oh, can you
maybe on your
what
forehead?
The cats would do with a rabbit's foot.
Tattoo a 4-leaf clover in your forehead.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
How about no?
How about no? How about yes, Kelly? Get with it.
I still have to have my nipples tattooed, but you know, I'm used to not seeing nips now, so I kind of feel like now it'd be weird to have nips.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a bit strange.
It's strange that, like, because I've seen your boobs more than I've seen
You haven't
any of
seen
my
them
friends'
lately?
boobs. No, I haven't.
And I'm not about to get them out for free.
No. But I do remember the last
and like.
photos. Yes. Clickbait. Kelly's boobs. I do remember that the last photos you sent me, something about where your scar,
the top of it looks like a nip.
Yeah. It kind of tricks your eye into thinking, because you're so used to seeing a nipple on a breast in that position, it almost makes you think there is one.
It's because where the top of the scar is literally where it would have been, because they cut from like your, like the spotty areola bit around. That's what they cut, and then just chop it off.
Yours were spotty.
Well, you know, you have the little dots, don't you? You know, like
They were
braille.
dotty.
You have brails around your nipples, don't you?
Braille nips.
Braille
it's like
nip.
braille.
It's a bit like
why am I feeling to see if there's fuck all there? You know what I mean? You've got little braille lumps.
Yeah,
maybe I have them. I've never really looked at other people's. Get your nips out so I can have a look. Memories.
I'm messing with you.
Memories.
Oh, yeah. Too many nipples around me.
We talk about boobs a lot, actually.
Good. It's good stuff.
As I was saying, like before we started recording, we were talking. Somehow we got onto breast milk, and Mana's like, "Oh, you could sell your breast milk." I was like, "Un problema."
Tell me. I wasn't even on prep then. That was like, what was it? Thursday or Friday?
Yeah.
I said
that. It's even funnier.
Oh, mate, my brain last week. Like, I think where obviously you were on quite a lot of caffeine on prep, and you pull that out, and then all of a sudden it's like, fucking hell, my brain's not actually waking up until about 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Groggy.
Yeah. And then you kind of come out of all the post-show like fun stuff, like the adrenaline dumps from the shows, then it's like, oh wow.
The worst thing at the moment about being on a cut is the shakes, and then trying to do your fem test with the shakes.
Oh, it's fucking
I was like,
you can't. I don't trust myself.
It's like you imagine like a trainee nurse to be like, stay still.
You know, did you guys watch Jackass the movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Which one?
When I can't remember which one it was.
Where is it? Where they're in the massive shopping cart?
Possibly, I can't remember which film it was. But basically, Steve-O gets a tattoo in a dune buggy going around a desert or like a really bumpy area. And it's meant to be a smiley face, and it just ends up looking like fucking horrendous. That's you.
That's me.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Fun time today. Right, ladies, I probably need to go and have some food and stuff.
Yeah, I'm due a meal as well.
All right. What about you,
Sorry,
Kelly?
Kelly.
Dust.
Some water. No,
That's
I think I have got a meal left. I saved one, but I'm not actually hungry right now.
anyone dust.
I fucking love Little Britain.
Just they
They
were talking the other day about how you couldn't play any of that now.
Oh, no
No.
way. No
Absolutely
way.
not.
It's classic though, that is.
Even Only Fools and Horses.
Mm.
Mad, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, right.
On that
Anyway,
note,
so yes, just remember to like, share, comment, and obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do have the Instagram page. It's been a little bit quiet, but we'll try and get that back up and running and stuff just because everyone's just been a bit crazy and Ro's been busy smashing it and all that good stuff. So yeah, but yeah, thank you for your support and everything, and we will catch you up in the next episode. Bye.
Thank
later,
you.
Saders.
Bye. Bye.